You're listening to a Stand Up New York podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to A Girl's Guide to Going Out. I'm Chanel Ali. I'm a stand-up comedian in New York City, and I go out every night. I'm really good at it. You're never going to drink more than me. You're never going to get me too high. And I'm going to trick you with sleight of hand most of the time. The great thing about going out every night is that I go out stand-up comedy clubs, and I hang out with the funniest people, my funny friends who are also pros at going out. So we're going to give you tips and tools so you will be the best at going out and having a great time and not having people talk about you in a bad way for too long. That's the best I can promise. I'm so excited that you're here. And also, I know it's called A Girl's Guide, but it doesn't mean this is only for girls. You can just come sit at the girls' table today if you want to, if you don't identify as a girl. And also, if you want to decide, you could just ask yourself right now, do you feel girly? Well, welcome to Ladytown. You're not going to get paid as much, but enjoy it here while you can. Sit in with us, join in with us. I'm so excited for my first guest. Her name is Caitlin Peluffo. She's so funny. She's, passed at the Comedy Cellar, performs all the time. She's been on Colbert. I mean, Corden. That's plenty of credits. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. And thanks for reading my bio. That's exciting.
I did. And also, have you Googled yourself lately?
No. Why?
The first thing that comes up, Caitlin Peluffo, husband.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. People are thirsty.
Yo, so thirsty and so curious. And then the second thing is Caitlin Peluffo, Steve.
Oh, that's so funny.
So they're finding the route.
Oh, God.
And then getting all up in your business.
Okay, that's okay. They want to know if he's real. I get it. With this jacket? Come on.
Caitlin is engaged to another comedian. Are you sick of talking about it?
No, I'll talk about it.
Oh, lovely. Awesome.
I'd love him. If I was sick of talking about it, I wouldn't marry him.
Pass the vibe check. I think it's going to be good. Well, that's awesome. Who approached who first?
Oh, well, we were friends for a couple years. And then we both got single at the same time.
Hey.
Yeah, and then we got drunk and kind of fell on top of each other, which is how it happens. That's how love is made, okay?
This is perfect.
Yeah.
I think
it very much sticks to my brand.
That's just a blossoming love story, and I'm really happy for you guys.
Thank you so much.
When are you guys doing that?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah,
but,
who cares? I'm happy that you're not super worried about it.
No, I mean, my family is, but I only get super worried about it when I'm around them because they catastrophize. They're like, you have to get married. When are you going to have babies? Blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And it was just like, well, I don't know if I want to do any of that.
So you haven't done any of the planning yet?
No, we looked at a few places, but it costs $42,000. Average is $42,000. And we're like, we got 10.
I'm surprised y'all even have that. That's
Thank you
incredible.
so much.
You guys are doing well.
Thank you.
Comedian
We're really
couple,
working on it.
Savings. Look, just don't make a baby.
Yeah.
Actually, make a baby. It might be funny.
Oh, God. Do it for the jokes?
Yeah.
Kill me.
No. The baby itself could be funny. Because you have funny DNA. He has funny DNA.
Yeah. It would be a funny-looking baby.
Science.
Because he's got big old ears.
The baby would be hilarious.
Looking.
I doubt that, actually. I think you both have baby faces.
I got a cute face, but he's got big old ears. He's bow-legged.
He's bow-legged?
He's bow-legged.
I haven't watched him walk that much.
I'm just like a beefcake. I'm just like massive. I have shoulders that are...
That's how you feel?
That's how I feel all the time.
That's what people always say. When Caitlin walks in, there's no room for us.
Yeah. This beefcake's here again.
Maybe you know that about yourself. I want to confess something to you.
Please.
I hate following you. Hate it.
Following me?
Yeah, on a comedy show.
Oh, on a comedy show?
Oh, around New York City? No, that's fun for me. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I hate it. You're on this short list. I would only say I have 5 comedians in New York City that when I see that I have to go after them, I'm like, no phoning it in tonight. Huh? Shouldn't have had all that pasta. You're a little full. You're going to have to dance. You're going to have to really
shake it up.
Commit to the bit. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Some people say that, but I'm like, yeah, but if I bomb, I really bomb.
I say the same thing. I most people are always saying to me, I've never seen you bomb. People say that to me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's because when it happened, I killed everybody after.
Yeah.
And the morgue was full, and then the newspaper struggled to identify.
Burn it down.
Yeah, of course. But no, I'm the same way. When I bomb, it's awkward and uncomfortable because I'm really trying to explore something and I don't know.
Yeah, because I go in hard, and I'm lucky that I've gotten to a place where I know how to get myself out of it. But sometimes the crowd is like not having it.
Yeah.
And that is when it's like, well, this is going to be awful for everybody.
You're like, what can I do?
Yeah.
But
it's
I also think it lends to how competitive you are.
Competitive.
Yeah. Because I'm
don't know
really
why
competitive. I think that's like a big part of how I have excelled at most things in my life is being a little competitive about it.
Yeah.
Like when I was in school, I remember there was a trip where they took like all these kids to go ice skating during the day. Like they get to skip school and go ice skating. And I was watching them load these kids up on the bus to go. And I was like, hey, what's going on? How do you get to be one of those kids? And they're like, oh, you have to get a 4.0 in one semester, or you have to like improve at like 2 points or something crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm getting a 4.0 next semester just so I can go on that trip. And
Great.
so I did immediately because
Redemption!
I didn't have any motivation to do it other than that. I've always felt like, yes, I'm capable of a lot of things, but why do I want to? Why do I want to like try really hard at some of these things? But comedy is something that I'm like very competitive about. I want to be the best all the time, and I want to mess the show up. Like I want the comedians the same way I say I hate following you. Like I want the comedians after me to feel like, how are we gonna do that? You know,
it's so funny. I get competitive not about how I do on a show, but about how hard I work. That's where I get competitive, and I always have, because I was an athlete.
Yes.
And so now I just have that drilled in my brain. It's like the more reps you do, no one will beat you at reps. You know,
you will be the best at repping.
It's just insane. But now I'm old and tired.
But what sports did you play?
I played soccer, softball, basketball, volleyball, cross country, track, golf.
And all that was voluntarily.
Yes.
Wow.
I was naturally athletic, and so I put all of my confidence eggs in that basket.
Yeah, you're like, I can move my body.
Yeah. Yeah, I have rhythm, and I played mostly soccer, but I was very competitive in that way. So as an athlete, I was very competitive.
Yeah, but you don't feel that same kind of fire sometimes when you're on stage? Because I feel like I see it in you.
I mean, I have the fire when it's not going well, and I'm like, I'm going to make you love me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, that's there, you know, but at the same time, if I bomb, I'm like, oh, I know this is part of the process.
Yeah.
And I accept it. And sometimes I just lean in and I'm like, oh, you didn't like my dirty jokes? Here's 14 more, you know?
Yeah.
I get petty.
You get petty?
I get petty.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I mean, whatever we have to do, because we're presenting art, live art. Like, that's a heavy thing to be out here trying to, like, entertain people with, especially in New York City, where they're like, I saw a Basquiat painting today, you know?
Yeah.
they're like, desensitized from art so much that they're, like, snooty about it, and it's exhausting.
Yeah, they're like, I live in the Empire State Building. Try and impress me.
I know the city intimately.
Yeah. That is true. I never thought of it that way.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a big difference between LA and New York City.
Yeah.
In LA, they're not exposed to so much, like, raw art. They're not exposed to, like, as much street demonstrations, people on the train. Like, just art in every time you go outside. And so then, you know, they're much more easily entertained. I always say in LA, you can just, like, make them laugh with a good cadence. You know? You just be like, ba-da, 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 ba-da.
Yeah, that
like,
is very true.
Hilarious. That girl's worldly. But in New York City, you have to, like, cut your chest open and, like, show them yourself a little bit and say, hey, this is what I've been dealing with and this is the type of human I am. Can you relate?
That is so true. Because I find, like, I'm very, very honest and vulnerable on stage in New York, and people are really respond to it. And in LA, it's more of a struggle. They're like, I can't believe you said that. You know?
Do you ever have any, or did you ever use any mantras that you feel like helped you in your confidence or, like, building up?
Well, whenever I say something or misspoke on stage, I'll say, I feel good. I feel strong. I'll say it on stage. It's like, yeah, forget that. I feel good. I feel strong. Here we go.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's a little, I don't know when I started doing it, but now it's like every time something does not go well, like a new joke doesn't land, it was like, yeah, that was new. Okay, I feel good. I feel strong.
I'm always impressed by what we say in those moments when we're like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. What do you do?
I actually was going to say that I just taught this comedy class, and this girl did a really funny thing at the show where she told a joke that didn't go very well. And she was like, oh, I'm just practicing. And that, like, really cracked me up. But yeah, I'll, like, tell crowds, like, I'll be like, you guys suck. I'll just tell them like you're weird.
Yeah, I'll tell them you're weird. I do the 60% of you really like me, and the other 40% are like, she's someone's daughter, you know.
Or I'll ask them like, are you guys my family?
Yeah.
The way you're not laughing feels like you also don't believe in my career.
Yeah.
It just feels familial.
Yeah. You also want me to give up and have a baby. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Crazy. You're like, good do your little joke, sweetie.
Yeah.
But I used to have this mantra that I would always say, my confidence is better than your confidence.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because it was just kind of like taking the concept instead of saying like, I'm better at everybody at stand-up comedy. I'm the greatest comedian in the world. I'm the second coming of Jesus in art form, black little girls, magic. Instead of
you mean like
that,
every white boy comic?
Yeah. Instead of saying all of that whole resume.
Yeah.
I would say like, I wouldn't say it out loud, but I would think it like, my confidence is better than your confidence.
Yeah.
And I would sometimes tweet it just randomly.
Yeah.
And I'd watch people like it, and I'm like, what do you think this means?
Yeah.
You know?
This isn't for you.
Yeah, that was my mantra though. And I feel like that also ties into like how often we have to speak up for ourselves in comedy.
Yes.
Like, have you ever had to press another comedian?
What do you mean press?
Like, try to fight them?
No, I've never tried to fight someone.
Your time is coming.
Oh, no. She's like throws the table.
It's loving basketball. We're getting crazy in there.
I mean, I've had to stick up for myself, like in terms of some guys will come up and they'll be drinking and I'm headlining and they'll be like, I want to bury you. I had a guy say that to me.
Oh.
I want to bury you. And I was like, good luck.
Oh.
And then he didn't. I believe he did a full bomb. And then I went on, and it was in like a small town.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cute. You think because you're a boy that you're just going to bury me, your little hometown hero?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how big is your shovel even?
I mean,
What?
he didn't have a shovel. He was using his hands.
He didn't have a plan?
So
I don't
bad.
buy it.
Yeah.
I did a show in Maine, and I just went out to the bar to get a drink, and like it was sold out, so everybody's kind of like murmuring. And I got in line, and this guy was like, "Hey, don't be nervous." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not nervous." And he was like, "Yeah, you don't seem nervous at all." And then he like just came, he like deflated right in front of me, and it was really kind of shocking. I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
the fact that I'm not nervous is really affecting you."
Yeah. It's like, oh, you really want to do this, and you're too afraid to. That's what I feel like half the time people who talk to me after shows,
Yes,
who are kind of not backhanded compliments. I'm always
Yes.
just like, you wish you could do this.
It's also a little bit like they hate watch us.
Yes.
Some of them. And I've had a fan admit that to me once.
Really?
Yeah, he had wrote me a few times saying very positive, encouraging things and like commenting on music that I would post, like really trying to suck my dick. And I was like, I would just like entertain it here and there. I would like it. And then one day he said something like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was like, hey, you shouldn't ask people if you can ask them a question. Just ask it, you know? I was trying to invite whatever conversation, and he snaps on me and was like, I can't believe you would say that to me. Like, you don't even know who I am.
Oh, my God.
You're never going to understand how your career is going to change after this moment. And you tell black people to steal, because I have a joke about stealing from H&M. You tell black people to steal, and you're everything that's wrong with the country. And I was like, yo, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I was encouraging you. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just, like, hate watchers stand up sometimes. And I was like, wow.
Why?
At least he admitted it.
Men are idiots.
Not
all men. But
there's a large percentage of people who watch stand-up comedy to hate watch it.
Yes.
Especially on YouTube.
Look at my YouTube. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, it's half of it. It's like women being like, this is great. And men being like, she's a stupid bitch. I hate her. She's fat and ugly and she won't fuck me.
She never responds to my DMs.
Yeah. And I'm
Like
like, okay, cool. Have fun, YouTube commenters. That's all you have.
But now you know how to say, if somebody presses you, that means like.
Yeah. Now I know the term, presses.
Yeah, like when you get home one day, you could say, yo, this dude was trying to press me today. It was crazy.
It's happened a few times where someone has tried to, now that I think about it, and I know the term, I'm like, yeah, people do that to me all day, especially when I'm on the road and I'm headlining.
For sure, on the road.
Like,
I was on the road and I actually threatened another comedian because he asked me for a guest spot and then didn't show. Yeah, so he asked me for a guest spot. I didn't even know him. He just came up, asked me for a guest spot. I was like, yeah, sure. Later on, I'm at the show. Other people ask me for the guest spot. I'm like, no, I promised this whatever guy. He doesn't show up. After the show, I see him at the bar drinking, having a grand old time.
Jesus.
As soon as I seen him, I saw red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even. I just walked right up to him and I was like, hey, let me talk to you outside real quick. And he was like, what? I was like, step outside and talk to me real quick. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, no, I don't know. where you come from, where you act like this, where stage time is something you could throw around.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. But come outside and explain yourself. Because I don't want to talk in here because they booked me in here.
Yeah.
I was just like, legitimately, I don't want to fight you in here.
Yeah.
But I was really ready to put hands on him. That's the only time I really felt like that.
Yeah.
But no, he bitched up, wouldn't come outside, as they do.
Yeah.
And then he tried to say, like, oh, I was a little drunk when I asked you for the guest spot, so I couldn't really remember. And I was like, bro,
Jesus, you have a problem.
It's just not. We don't make excuses like that.
No. You show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already, we only get a couple of minutes and you're wasting our
Especially
minutes.
if you're in the bumfuck of nowhere. You get stage time, twice a year?
Yes.
Come on.
Also, I feel like silence is really powerful when people are pressing us. Sometimes somebody will come up and say something abrasive to an artist or a performer. And if you let them sit in it, they'll just realize like, oh, I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I'm walling.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
Oh, maybe I'll use that.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of road dates coming up, and I have a few of them where I know, like, the guy in the email has already called me sweetheart, and I was like, fun.
Or I'll say it back to them sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if they say something a little creepy or whatever, I'll be like, oh, come sit on my lap. Like, oh, I heard you.
I do that with crowd work interactions when someone tries to be funny.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't work, and I go, what did we all learn? Comedy is hard.
That's something we should remind people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to let them know.
That'd be maybe my fourth album. That's what I'll call it.
Comedy is hard.
I just found out comedy's hard.
Yeah.
Well, this is Girl's Guide to Going Out, so I want to ask you about going out, and have you ever been too lit?
Always.
Always? No.
Look.
I've never even held your hair back.
Oh, no, but other people have. I do the damn thing. I've cut back a lot. Since I started working the cellar, it's like you can't get drunk all the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Working there. You just won't be able to keep up.
Yeah.
But like,
crazy.
Yeah. But during the pandemic, I would have a nice time. But I also have a podcast called Good Time Gal. You were on it.
Absolutely.
Shameless plug. But it's all about...
I'm going to plug it later.
It's all about being a drunk idiot and making huge mistakes. I went to school in San Diego.
Yeah.
And so it was just a
San
party
Diego's
fest.
party town, yeah.
Yeah, party fest. And then I came to New York right after party fest. Went to art school, which is like summer camp. Yeah. And so it was just...
So now do you still like get lit, or do you pull back from the feeling?
Depends. Like it would creep up on me. Yeah. Because sometimes I forget to eat. If I have like the last time I got lit and didn't realize I was lit, I did this to myself. I had like 9 spots that night, and it was so dumb. I was running around, and so from 6 until 1 or 2, I didn't eat a thing. Yeah. I was just sprinting around. And
I know the math on that. 9 spots, 2 drinks a show.
Yeah.
You kill 2 of those shows, 2 random white guys buy you a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking 12 drinks already.
It ended up like I don't drink before spots because it slurs my speech. And so I just don't. I freak out and I get insecure. And so I was like, well, the confidence is what I have on stage. So let's go with that. Yeah. So I don't drink before spots. So as soon as I got off stage, I had 2 Negronis.
But also when you're running in between spots, you don't really have as much time to drink. Because there's been plenty of times where I only had a show or 2 and I drank way too much of them. But then if I'm too busy, it's like I get home and I have drink tickets in my pocket.
Yeah. I know. What a waste.
So
that's how we get paid.
2 Negronis, and you were like...
I had 2 Negronis, and then I was like, I think I'll just switch to beer to kind of tone it down. And then I
Make a decision.
Blacked out. Apparently I was very sweet. I went over to the cellar and hugged everybody. I was like, you guys are great.
I'm like that too. Like the last time I got really lit, I did a show in Philly, and when I woke up the next day, I had like blocked somebody, but also I had a bunch of incoming texts from people who were like, oh, thank you so much, Chanel. I feel the same way. Like, I was like, what did I say? Because I don't really send texts. I don't send drunk texts really that I regret. Yeah. But I will send a voice note. Yeah. I will send a voice note.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Those disappear.
No, they don't. Not now with the update. You could just keep them forever. Save them forever. Yeah. You don't know?
No.
This is the only reason I brought you here is to let you know. Don't get caught up
You've been teaching me
on
a lot
the
of
voice
stuff.
notes.
Yeah.
I had this weird situation a couple weeks ago where my roommate had a friend over, and the guy walked into my room on accident and saw me naked. Right? Mortified, right? And so I call my friend, like one of my good friends who is
Yeah.
like my support system, and they don't answer. So then I send them a voice note, and then I send it, and I'm obviously very upset.
Yeah.
And then I look back at my phone, and I realize I didn't text it to them. I actually sent it to a comedy booker. Yeah. Right. And so this voice note is just me hysterically crying, going, "He saw me! He saw me! He came in here and he saw me! I was in here in my room." It's crazy, nonsensical hysterics.
I love that.
And so then I text him and I'm like, "Hey, I didn't mean to forward that to you." Because I'm like trying to separate myself from it. Like, it's not even me on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke, funny. And I'm thinking, oh man, this guy's never gonna book me again. Like, it's over, it's over, it's over. Like, you fucked up. And he texts me back and he's like, "Thank you for telling me. In that case, I'll delete it and I won't listen to it."
Oh, that's
right?
so nice.
I really appreciated a little bit of grace. And he could have been lying. Maybe he listened to it and he saved it. Maybe he's jerking off to it right now. This is comedy, baby.
Yeah.
But I appreciated him even trying to give me a peace of mind. Like, because it was like late at night. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I knew that he knew, like, she's going through something.
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
could
yeah.
accidentally fire off a voice note like this.
Something's happening. Who was the booker? Do I get to know?
I don't think you know him. He's not a guy. Yeah.
I
I don't really remember his name, but I'm proud of him for being good.
Yeah, I wanted to shout him out for being an ace.
Yeah, I would, but then he probably has that voice note, and we can't have people knowing where they can go get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever fake a drink?
Fake a drink.
Yeah. Because sometimes I feel pressured when we're out, especially like with like big names, like, you know, people on SNL and shit, and they're like, shots. Everybody's doing shots. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
just
Well, that's what I would
over my
do.
Shoulder.
My boyfriend taught me that. Sweet Steve. He would take
Yes.
shots, but he would just go.
Nice.
He would just go flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the soda water if I have to.
Or give it to a groupie. I like to do that. Find a groupie, give it to her.
That's good. I also just have no problem saying no.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, I'm gonna have water for this next one.
Nice.
Because I'm grown up.
Because we're not having the gronies no more.
No, but sometimes I have to be able to say that. But sometimes I just want a drink.
Hell yeah.
So that's when the trouble happens.
Yes. I definitely understand that. So I wanted to ask you about, do you ever straighten your hair? Do you ever do it?
I've done it once or twice.
Yeah.
And it really fries my hair. And so I've just gone balls in.
Curly.
That's it.
I feel like the world treats me really different when my hair is straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bad or good?
Good, but also in a fake way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it fits a standard for them much better, and then they're like, "Oh, you're a little more approachable now." I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain
This is
it.
a cute haircut.
I agree.
Cute and fun.
No, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
But when I do straighten my hair, I don't gotta pay to get on the bus.
Wow.
You know?
That's wild. I get that because that was my test for every guy I've dated.
Yeah.
I would straighten my hair and they'd think, I really like it this way.
You'd be like,
And I'd
lame.
You're not the one for me.
I do think we've gotten more curly girl hair appreciation in the last few years.
Yes.
And also guys have started like putting more stuff in their hair. So they're starting to understand like there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are who you are.
Yeah, exactly. This is how God made us. It's curly. It's fun. It's fine.
I love it. It's dried so
Thank
much.
you.
You guys, you were sitting here.
I came in with wet hair like a professional.
Yes. She was like, I'm not going to get sick. I was like, who told you that? Do you think there was a time when you felt like you transitioned from like being a girl to a woman?
Girl to a woman. Probably as soon as I moved to New York.
Yeah.
Because my undergrad, I went to UC San Diego, and I was very lucky that my parents paid for my college. And but I had the stipulation was I had to have a job.
Yeah.
So I always had to have a job in order to, and above a certain GPA, I think it was a 3.0, and they would pay for my college. And then I got to grad school, and they were like, "Nope, no more paying you're on your own."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." So I got a bunch of loans.
Yeah.
And then doing the rent and the job and everything all by myself. And I was 21, 22 when I was doing that. And then actually, it's right after grad school. Because the loans, they helped you pay for your rent and your studio. And then it was like,
us.
I know. And then I had to get an apartment by myself. I had to live in squalor.
I even remember they made me take a test that was like before I could get my loans, it was like to test if you were going to be able to handle having money like that.
Yeah.
Did you have to do something like that?
I don't remember it.
I remember it was online and it was like, you just got a check for $1,500. Should you buy shoes? Yes or no? And I was like, no. But I gotta think I'm gonna now because you gave me the idea. I don't think I had even considered using that money for really helping myself other than books.
Yeah.
Until they told me, hey, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna.
I was so afraid of not having rent because I grew up in suburbia. And so you only see movies about the big city where the girl has to start blowing dudes in order to
afford her
make
7th
rent.
floor walk up.
So, yeah, exactly. I was like, that's not going to be me. I'm going to make it in this town. And so I really I would splurge on booze, but we would go to like $1 PBR nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we would do. And so I was just so worried. And then I had a job and then I would save my money. I was like freak out about it. But then I started getting secure. And now in my old age, I'm just like, not old age, I'm fine. But I keep saying I'm old, but I'm just like, I'm not.
It's just cold in here.
Yeah, it's just cold and I didn't lotion my hands. So, but now I spend money on going out for dinner.
Yeah, I love going out for dinner.
That's where my kryptonite is. I won't buy shoes or this was a gift, this jacket.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would never have the confidence to be like, yeah, faux fur. Here we go.
Oh, I like it.
Thank you so much.
No,
it's a men's jacket.
Is it warm?
It's all wool. Feel that.
Oh, we're ready. The girls are ready to go out.
Yes, in her men's jacket and men's shoes, and men's shirt. Harley Davidson.
I do like to wear men's shoes, or I buy boys' shoes sometimes.
Boy, how small are your feet?
I wear women's 8, but that's like a boy's 6. What size shoe do you wear?
I'm 8.5.
Your feet are not even that big. See?
Thank you.
You can get some cheap sneakers.
It's just so small.
I'm gonna take you to Brooklyn.
Mm.
What else did I want to ask you? You just said something that really made me think of something. Oh yeah, so I always think about like female entertainers before us and how some of them had to do like really grimy shit to get on, and I'm like, yo, she did it so I don't have to do it.
Yeah, God bless
I think
them.
about it all the time, you know? Even like people were really critiquing that Marilyn Monroe movie lately, that Blondie movie. And they were saying like, oh, they just like stylized and fictionalized it so much and they made it so crazy. Like her sex life wasn't that crazy. And I'm like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Back then to get on, you had to do what you had to do to get on.
Yeah.
But I still feel like we do have to play a game still, you know? I still feel like sometimes I manipulate men sometimes in comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You little bad girl.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I started, it was I get obsessed with something and I try and outwork. So it was the 7 mics a day. But
yeah, which sounds very competitive, just FYI.
It is. Yes, but that's what I get competitive about. I get competitive about my work ethic.
Yeah.
But then I would, like, I don't know. I would always complain if like I was like, oh yeah, there's 25 guys here and 1 girl and you're make the girl go last. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And then oh sorry, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, that's probably not fair, but I am being a problem. But also, come on, what are you doing?
Yes, let's be realistic. I mean, if we have 5 guys on a show and 4 of them have on the same shirt, how different of a perspective are we going to get on this art? And like, if you like comedy, you should want to hear it.
Yes.
You know? And I think that's a big thing that's untapped in like our community is there are women who could be comedians, but they're stuck at you know, working at some dentist office in Idaho. And it's just, they're being really funny on like the intercom. And everybody's like, yeah, but you're not that funny though. And
It's
Gladys
different.
is going to keep going to work.
Yeah. It's also, I think it's within the next 15 years, there's going to be a lot more female comics because they're seeing more female comics.
Yes.
Because we only saw Roseanne and Joan Rivers, you know?
And Wanda Sykes was pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
And I've seen in Philadelphia already that I've inspired a lot of young women to already like start going to open mics and feel like there's maybe a space for them here, which I think there is.
Yeah. I feel like I inspire a lot of dudes. I'm like, if you can do it, I
think
can
so
do it.
too. I
It's like,
also
oh,
inspire
shut
some dudes. But the dudes quit quicker.
Yes, they do. The women really want it. You know, they're like, if I'm giving up my eggs,
Yeah, we're dead
do
inside.
this.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Girls Guide.
Oh, thanks for having me. Did we get anything done?
We got so much done. Everything on my list we hit.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say just to the girls out there who go out? Any tips you want to give them?
Any tips
about
cover your drink?
Yeah.
Another thing, when you stand up and you get a little dizzy, that means stop and drink water.
Drink water.
Moisturize and drink water. That's all I got to tell you. Okay, because if you're gonna drink and go out and have a nice time, do it. Enjoy yourself. You deserve to, but moisturize and drink water right before bed.
Hydration.
It's very important.
It's key.
Yeah, it'll keep you young forever.
Tell them where they can follow you, where you're going to be at.
You can follow me at Caitlin Peluffo on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of the stuff, but I mostly just use Instagram. And I have a bunch of tour dates coming. I'm calling it the Chub Rub Tour.
I love it.
Thank you. But yeah, the Chub Rub Tour dates are out. I just added Chicago to it, which is exciting. And then, but yeah, and Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay,
I don't
cool.
know if that's a thing, but
I like Michigan.
Yeah. Oh, and Dead Crow, Wilmington. Okay. Anyway.
You guys check out Caitlin Peluffo.
Yeah, it's all
her
on my Instagram.
She's so funny. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Girls Guide to Going Out. If you go out, have fun.
Yes.
And if you have some girls, get girly. We love ya. See you next time.
Bye.